Back in August, we said that we were going to be entering a position on OSCR and that we had a target between $20 to $22. Currently on those shares alone, I am up 39% or $36,900. And we have taken out that $22 target to absolute perfection. In this video, I want to talk about the best case scenario. I want to cover why I think that if we sweep this liquidity zone that you see on my screen, which we're already over, why I think that by the end of this year, we could see another 30% move up to $27. And crazy enough, maybe even an 80% move up to $42. My name is Peter DiCarlo. I'm a full-time quantitative trader. I've made over $5.5 million in my trading career following a very simple two-step trading strategy. I don't care about news. I don't care about fundamentals, PE ratios, what's happening in the world or the stock market at all. I care only about my two-step system. And if my criteria is met, I take a position. You can see I don't win all the time. I only have a 61% win rate. But the most important thing that we talk about in this strategy and in these videos is your risk versus reward. How much money are you making when you're right versus how much money are you losing when you're wrong? Now, if you want to get the entire strategy that we're going to be going over in this video, as well as all of the indicators, it is all free. The link is in the description. I make more than enough money trading. I do not need to sell you any of this information. Now, when we look at the initial call out that I did on OSCR, you can see that we posted this back on August 10th. The reason that we were going long at this point is because we were meeting our first criteria of our setup, which is that price has to be in a smart money zone. Now, within those free courses, step 3 is the Smart Money Mastery Guide. This indicator and this course is going to show you where these smart money zones are so that you can be buying stocks at discounts and never overpay for anything ever again. Now, in order to understand a smart money zone, you first have to understand market structure. So the only market structure that I look to trade is a bullish market. I will never trade something that looks like this. If a stock is just selling off and bouncing, I don't care about it. I will wait for structure to shift. So first and foremost, we need bullish structure. And in this case, that's exactly what OSCR had at the time. My goal is not to be buying into these higher highs. So buying into OSCR, not a good move right now, right? For instance, that buying back here at that high, not a good idea. Buying right here, not a good idea. Buying right here, not a good idea. We don't want to be buying at these higher highs. We want to be buying on these pullbacks and buying on those higher lows. I know that might seem very basic for a lot of people, but I promise you, so many people will just overpay for stocks because they get FOMO and they think the stock's going to double, triple, and they'll overpay for it. So the time to be buying was obviously down here, between $14 to about $12. Now, back in August, price pulled right into that smart money zone. Now, the way that we find smart money zones is broken down within that course, but basically within that higher low, you can do a Fibonacci retracement draw, which you'll get access to all of that in the course, and that will show you the smart money zone and the institutional buy zone. These areas are where we are focusing on getting into positions. So I don't care about a stock any point in its life cycle unless we are inside of these smart money zones. Good example of some of our best trades that we've been trading recently was Reddit, bounced off the smart money zone, broke out to perfection. CleanSpark, bounced off smart money zone, breaking out to perfection. MongoDB, bouncing off smart money zone, breaking out. United Health, bouncing off smart money zone, most likely going to continue to break out. So this is something that is repeatable across basically any stock that's out in the market. You just need to know how to find them, and more importantly, you need to use patience. Now, the second aspect of this is using the volume profile, which this indicator is also free right next to the Smart Money Mastery course. This indicator is very important because it's going to show us where buyers and sellers have been entering the market within the past 150 weeks. Normal volume is going to show you how many shares were traded. This is going to show you where they were traded at. And it's very important because these thick areas of volume act as major supports. These thin areas of volume act as areas to break out. So you could see that price is pulling into the smart money zone and hitting our volume profile block. Very good sign that price is going to break out to the upside. And that is exactly what happened. Now, from our entry up until here, price is now up about 81%. Now, in most cases, when we are moving into a previous high, I will look to take some sort of profit off of the table. But something very unusual happened as of recent, and that is that we had a ton of call buyers entering the market, which is normally going to be some sort of insider, which normally means that the stock is going to break out massively. So I posted this here on September 18th, saying that there was a massive unusual call buying alert that hit OSCR expiring 10/24/2025 at over $1 million in call options. When you see this type of buying within the market, it is normally a very good sign that an insider knows some sort of information. Hence the breakout today, an insider knew that that news was going to drop after hours. And that's why they ended up buying these calls. Now, for those of you who are a part of our private community and have access to our student dashboard, you can go to the unusual flow section and you can search for that OSCR flow. If we open this up, you can see it came through 18 days ago. Call option premium was $2.10. We had over $1 million in calls expiring 10/24/2025. And at the time, price was trading at $18.50. So since that ended up coming through, the stock is already up another 30%. Now, the last thing to get an understanding of here is really how far can this breakout go? I will say that while I am up a lot, I don't think this is the time to buy. I think that this is the time to hold personally, which is what I'm doing. The time to buy was back down at $14. But there's one last piece to this puzzle that we have to give ourselves a best case scenario target. And that is this liquidity zone that you can see I have drawn out right here. If we go back into our trading playbook, we talk a lot about these liquidity zones. And basically, this happens when price repeatedly tests a support or a resistance level. The more times that this resistance level or support is tested, the greater chance that price is going to break through or sweep that liquidity. This is how we can normally identify a potential breakout within market structure. And if you notice, this resistance level right here is most certainly a liquidity zone. We have rejected between $22 to $22, 1, 2, 3, coming up now on a fourth time. Now, there's a chance that price can reject this week, but with that call buying and a fourth touch on this liquidity zone, there's a very good chance that this is going to completely sweep to the upside and break out parabolically, meaning that we're just going to go straight up. That is why I've continued to hold on to my position on OSCR, even though normally I would be taking profits. Now, if you want to learn how to actually find and read that options flow, that is going to be free as well as part of step 4 under options flow mastery. This leads us to my best case scenario price target, which at this point is going to be up at $30. The reason I'm giving a $30 price target is because that is where our deviation band is currently sitting. And in most cases, when we come up into this dotted deviation band, price will reject because it's very overbought. So I think that there's still a chance that price can continue to run, even after today, nearly another 20% to $30. That is my best case scenario target. That is my target for the end of 2025. I will maybe take some profits tomorrow morning, but I'm definitely going to continue to hold at least half of my position to see if that occurs. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you next time.